Welcome to this tutorial. In this video, I'll teach you how to create the Facebook and YouTube logos in Adobe Photoshop. And I'll teach you how I created this Facebook logo and this YouTube logo. Okay, so let's dive into the process, guys. The logos look beautiful, right? First, we need to create a new document. So click on File on the menu bar, select New. And in the New Document dialog box, we will set our document width to 3.5 inches and height to 3.5 inches. Resolution 300 pixels per inch. Color mode RGB, background color white. Go ahead and click on create. Now I have my new blank document created. And before I start creating my logo element, I'll divide my document into equal parts, horizontally and vertically. Click on View on the menu bar. Select New Guide. Click to check the horizontal radio box. Enter 50 in the position field and click on OK. Now we have our horizontal guideline dividing our document into two equal parts. Again, click on the View tab on the menu bar and select New Guide. This time around, click to check the vertical radio box. Enter 50 in the position field, then click on OK. And we have our document divided into two equal parts vertically with the vertical guideline. Alternatively, we can introduce the guidelines from the rulers. Position your mouse cursor on the horizontal ruler, then click and drag to fetch the horizontal guideline. Then snap it to the center. This time, click and drag on the vertical ruler to fetch the vertical guideline and snap it to the center. And now we have our document divided into equal parts horizontally and vertically with the horizontal and vertical guidelines from the rulers. Alright. The guidelines are beneficial in Photoshop because they help in easy and accurate alignment of elements. Now, the first element I will insert is the rounded rectangle. So click on the rounded rectangle to activate it. Then step in the extreme top left corner of the document. Click and drag across the document through the center to the bottom right corner of the document. Press down the shift key to create equal dimensions of the rectangle. Release the buttons. The Facebook logo has a blue background, so I'll change my shape color from white to blue. Select blue from the colors, and now we have our shape filled with blue color. Alright, at this point I'll add embossment effect to my rounded rectangle. Double click on the rounded rectangle layer to open up the layer style dialog box and select bevel and emboss from the blending mode options. Keep the depth to 616%, direction up, size 32 pixels, soften 9 pixels. Set the shading angle to -90, the gloss contour to linear. Then click on OK. And now we have our emboss effect added to our rounded rectangle. At this point, we will be creating our F element from the type tool. So click on the type tool to activate it. Then maintain the font color as white. Click outside the rounded rectangle and type F on the keyboard. Click the check button. Click the move tool. Press Ctrl and A on the keyboard to create a selection around our rectangle. Click on the Align Horizontal Centers tool and click on the Align Vertical Centers button to align our F element to the center of our document. Press Ctrl and D to deselect the selection. Now let us increase the size of our F element by using the transform controls around the F. Let's click and drag to increase the size of our element until we get a reasonable size of it. Okay guys, I think this size is okay. Let's zoom in. Click the move tool. Press Ctrl and A on the keyboard to create a selection around our document. Then click on the Align Horizontal Centers button to align our element to the center horizontally. Press Ctrl and D to remove the selection. Okay guys, now we have a beautiful Facebook logo created. Okay, now we are done creating the Facebook logo. Okay, so let's go ahead and create the YouTube logo. But before that, let's save our Facebook logo. Click on File on the menu bar and select Save As. I'll call this logo Facebook Logo 2. Click on Save, then OK. And now we have our Facebook logo saved. At this point, let us create a new blank document for the YouTube logo. So right click and select New Document. I'll maintain the dimensions I created for the Facebook logo. So go ahead and click on Create. Okay. Now let us insert our guidelines from the rulers. Activate the rounded rectangle tool. Step in the top left corner of the document. Then click and drag to the bottom right corner of the document. At this point, press down the Shift key to create equal dimensions of the rectangle. Release the buttons. The YouTube logo has a red background, and so we will set our rectangle color to red. Okay, I will add a layer style to this rounded rectangle element. So double click on the rounded rectangle layer to open up the layer style dialog box, and from the blending modes, choose bevel and emboss. Set the angle to -90. Good. Altitude 30 degrees. Gloss contour linear. Highlight mode screen. Opacity 50%. Shadow mode multiply. Opacity 50%. Go ahead and click on OK. And now our layer style has been created. Click and hold the rounded rectangle tool, and from the pop-out options, select Custom Shape tool. I have already set my custom shape to rectangle. Now press down the Shift key on the keyboard, then click and drag to create the triangle element above the rounded rectangle element. Then change the shape color to white. So now we have our triangle created above the rounded rectangle layer. Click to collapse this. Activate the move tool. Click on edit on the menu bar. Select transform and select rotate 90 degrees clockwise. Press Ctrl and A on the keyboard to create a selection around the document. Click on Align Horizontal Centers and click on Align Vertical Centers to align our triangle element to the center horizontally and vertically. Press Ctrl and D on the keyboard to remove the selection, and we are done. So guys, as you can see, we have created a beautiful YouTube logo. Now let us get this saved. Click on File on the menu bar once again, then select Save As, and I'll call this logo YouTube Logo 2. Click on Save and click on OK. Guys, we are done. The logos look beautiful, right? If you like this video, do well and subscribe to my channel and click on the notification bell for all video updates.